Hello. Today's topic is quite simple, as shown in the title. Politeness has become so rare, ... Wait for it. It's become mistaken as flirtation. Yeah, that's right, you heard me correct. Being polite is being mistaken as flirting. We live in a society now where you can't even be polite towards the opposite gender more than anything without being accused of being flirtatious. So much so that I have to go out of my way to say, hey, I'm not flirting, but you look nice today. Or, hey, not flirting, just being a mature adult, but I disagree with you. Yeah, I've had to actually say that before too. That's the society we live in. We live in a fucking society where I can't even politely approach people without someone, somewhere, I'm not saying everybody, but there are a good portion of people that mistake anyone, not even just me, but anyone, their politeness as being flirtatious. I shouldn't even need to describe and tell you just how pathetically sad that is. To think that politeness is so fucking rare, that kids are not understanding what politeness is, how it works, when you utilize it, etc., etc. So much so that society cannot recognize or differentiate between politeness and flirtation. Because apparently, being polite is me trying to get into your pants. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. No, because it's not right. Because it's wrong. If anything, this brings to point what I've said for years. It all starts at home. When we have kids raising kids, when we have shitty parents trying to raise children, they don't get what they need. They don't get discipline. They don't get taught manners. They don't get raised to be polite, mature, productive adults. So that's why we have man children, women children. Yeah, that's right. Adult males, adult females who act like they're fucking 12. Mentally and emotionally. Sure, they may physically be a full-grown adult, but mentally and emotionally, they're stunted beyond belief to the point of being an adolescent. Okay? So, they don't get their way, they're gonna have an adult hissy fit. They're gonna bitch, they're gonna moan, they're gonna complain. If I don't get my way, I accept it and move on. If I get rejected, so be it. If I get told no, well, depending on what it is, I'll react accordingly. If it's something super important, I'm gonna try to be persuasive or debate it or whatever. But if it's a simple, hey, do you want to go somewhere today, do something today? No. Okay. Even if I do want to go somewhere myself that day, I'll be like, that's fine, whatever. It's no big deal. Whereas, in today's self-serving world, if they're told, no, I don't want to go anywhere today, they'll be like, well, I want to. And it's like, fucking get over yourself. So, what I'm saying here is that if I can't even believe, not even just me, if people cannot be polite, then it's no wonder that there are so many shitty people. Because they get negativity, or as it said, psychologically speaking, negative reinforcement for their positive action. This therefore discourages further doing of said action. So in essence, the more that they receive negative reinforcement, negative reaction to an action, the less likely they're going to do it. And that makes sense, regardless. Because nobody wants that negative reaction. They want more of a positive one. I get that. So I can understand why it's declining more and more in that regard. But the fact that there are people out there that are actually doing this to other people, where you can't be like, hello, you know, and you look really good today, I'm really proud of you, or just being just cordial in general, you know, holding out the door, or being friendly and waving, is being flirty, really? Like, I can't, it's so hard for me to actually go over this topic because I cannot think from such a ignorant and stupid mind frame. Like, how in the fuck? I don't know. The simple, polite things. You know, you look good today, good job. Thank you. I don't know, just being polite, I just don't get it. How? Well, I got to thinking about it actually, and it kind of makes sense now. We live in a world where society is all about selfies and basically narcissism. And it occurred to me that only people who think way too high of themselves, who are narcissistic and so on and so forth, would be those people, those type of people rather, who would react as though politeness is some sort of flirtation. So the only people that confuse the two of politeness, you know, being polite, cordial, etc., and being flirtatious as one, those are people who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder. These are people who think way too high of themselves, who think they are just God's gift to earth. And so that everyone that approaches them in some sort of positive manners, anyone who shows politeness, cordiality, any sort of, you know, interaction with them, especially if it's the opposite gender, they believe in their minds that they're being flirted with because there's no possible way that someone of the opposite gender is going to come up to them and just genuinely, sincerely be nice to them, or be polite with them without some sort of agenda of wanting to be with them. Because in their narcissistic mind, again, they think they are just God's gift to earth, that they're the sexiest thing on earth, and so there's no way that the opposite gender can be not attracted to that person. Every one of the opposite genders is attracted to me because me, I'm the best. I'm so hot. Yeah. So anyone that comes up to me, man, they're definitely flirting with me because you know what? It's not possible for anyone not to be attracted to me. So if you're being polite, you're flirting with me. That's literally how it's processing, even if it isn't exactly like that. That is how it is going in their mind, how they're processing it. And that actually makes a lot of sense. It took a little bit of thinking about it, you know, that makes sense, you know, just thinking psychologically wise. So, I guess, you know, it makes sense furthermore on a larger scale because in the society, especially America, narcissism is like the #1 trait of Americans nowadays. It's all about me. It's all about what I want. It's all about selfies and fucking me. You know, kind of attitude. So, it really makes sense on a big scale and the small scale. This is just one portion of the narcissistic personality disorder problem that America has of its own right. So, I just wanted to add that in, you know, to answer my own question essentially, but for those that, you know, couldn't figure it out or what have you, figured I'd add this little bit in because it really does make sense. What happens when you approach a narcissist in some sort of positive manner? They think, you know, so highly of themselves in a self-righteous manner that they're like, well, this person wants to get with me because I'm so goddamn perfect and hot. Blah, blah, bullshit, you know? It fucking makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. But I'm sure there is more to it other than that. I mean, as I said before, shitty parenting and, you know, just overall stupidity in general, because they don't genuinely know what being polite is, because shitty parents didn't teach them what it is. Society of its whole didn't show them how to be polite or anything of that manner, so they can mistake it just being ignorant in its true sense of form, you know, not having the knowledge of what being polite is and cordiality and so on and so forth. So, you know, there's multiple factors that come into it, but the main two are starting at home and narcissism. So, till next time.